Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadashi, first chapter, and the 10th sloka we are analyzing. Let's chant that one again together. Ittam satchit paranandaha atma yuktya tatha vidam param brahma tayos chaikyam shrutvantyeshu vadishyate. So ittam satchit paranandaya atma yuktya tatha vidam. In this way we have established that through logic that Atma, the self that I am, is not the body, is not the mind, is not the intellect. It is the real knower, because of which the activated mind in my presence only everything can be known. So Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. I am not really creating, but in my presence the Prakriti itself creating. I am not a knower, but in my presence only the Buddhi is knowing. So all that has to be understood itself. So from my point, I am akartaham abhoktaham. I am never a doer nor an isthaar. But without me nothing can be done also. So you can say I am the real doer from your point, but from my point I am not even a doer. So this is what is going on, because the whole thing is mithya only. That's why it's called mithya. So this is to be understood here. From the point of Paramarthika, there is no creation even. So a realized person recognizes this problem, and also it says from the point of view, there is no world even. I say, I am a jnani. Who is a jnani? There is no jnanam, ajnanam. This is only jnanam, ajnanam is only from the transactional. I thought I was ignorant, and that ignorance I really did not have is gone also. Even going is also another mithya. So realization, ajnanam, jiva, everything is at the transactional level. From the paramarthika level, there is nothing of this sort. But as long as I identify myself that I am a jiva, for me the transactions has become real. So I have to be careful. From what reference this is? So Jnani's reference, when the point of Paramarthika, he will say that there is no world even, there is no plurality, there is no nothing, and I am neither a Jnani or a Jnani also. He doesn't say I am a Jnani. He doesn't say I am neither a Jnani or a Jnani. But from the point of transactional reality, because he has to still transact as long as his body, mind and intellect is there. Body will be still perceiving the plurality, the transactions. Body will be hungry, body will be sleepy, body will, all those things exactly identical. And the mind will be there, the intellect will be there, the whole world will be still there. And he has to travel with the body, mind and intellect only. He will be traveling one place to other place. So at the transactional level, he will be using, I am the body. He will say, what is your name? He has to tell his name only. What is the name of the body, mind and intellect only. So therefore, at the transactional level, he behaves as though he is a jiva, but yet with an understanding that I am not really this. This is the game I had to play as long as I am transacting in the world. Just like an actor, he has to play the role of a king or a beggar, knowing very well he is neither a king or a beggar. He is only an actor who is different from the beggar and the king. Yet on that stream, he has to be playing like a king. Or he may be by a beggar, if that beggar role, being kicked by all other people, left and right. They may be their friends outside. But on the stage, he is only a beggar. He cannot act like a king there in as a beggar role. So he has to play the role of a beggar. So knowing very well I am not this. So once in a way I have to go into green room and remove all the costume and recognize that I am an actor who is playing the role of that. All the fireworks are going on. So, knowing very well I am the original actor, that is in the green room, I know, and again came back into the scene because I had to play the role because I'm being paid for that. So, role playing is not a problem. Beggar will have a problem in the scene. So, problems belong to the roles, not to the actor who is independent of the roles. Beggar may be a beggar, he may be millionaire outside because of the beggar role he is getting better, he is making millions there. So as an actor, original actor, these problems do not belong to him. While acting, he is acting as a beggar, knowing, not forgetting that I am only playing a role of a beggar, but I am really an actor. So the problems of the role doesn't belong to me. While acting. So I can be a beggar in the scene and being kicked up left and right by everybody, knowing very well this is all drama and a game and nothing will really affect me as an actor. Same way, I am pure Satchidananda Swarupam playing the role of a husband, a wife or a student or whatever the role that is there that I have taken as long as the body, mind, intellect is there. So I had to transact in the world, therefore transactional reality is still perceived, but now I have the knowledge that these transactions are not really real, but only transactionally real. That's all the difference between a jnani and ajnani. So if you ask the jnani, say, have you realized? So what should you answer? You shouldn't answer anything, because realize what? Realize I am a beggar, or realize I am an actor who is playing as an actor. So because he alone knows that, not that the other people will not know. So there is no point in telling other people I am a realized soul. Because I don't think so. You will say, I don't think so, then why did you ask? So when people ask me, have you realized? What's the point in answering that question? Because whether I am realized or not independent, because if I say I am realized, is going to believe it? Oh, I don't think so, then why did you ask? So you, I think so. Then you already thought so, why are you asking? So the point is, that question should not be answered because there is no reason for it, and it only depends upon the faith of the individual. So from my point, I had to have a faith that my teacher is realized. Why? In that way, I have the Shraddha. Shraddha means faith in the teaching itself. Whether the teacher realized is immaterial, because what I need to do is to realize myself. That has to be understood. So, ittam satchit parananda. So, all that logically I can only analyze that I am Satchidananda, but it doesn't say I am Brahman. Means I am infinite. In fact, I become smaller and smaller, too small. In fact, by rejecting I am not this, I am becoming a smaller and smaller. And only way to know that I am Brahman is through the scripture only. That's what Vidyaranya is emphasizing here. Param Brahma tayoschaikyam shrutyante shupadishyate. Param Brahma tayoho aikyam. That Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme means there is nothing beyond there. Matta parataram asti. There is nothing beyond me. I am the Supreme, because there is nothing beyond infinite. What is there beyond infinite? There is nothing beyond infinite, because that's already infinite. If something is there beyond infinite, infinite is not infinite anymore. So Brahman means Purnam, complete, full. So nothing more can be added to it. That's what is Purnam means. Brahman means nothing can be added or subtracted also. So Param Brahma tayoho cha aikyam. The identity, the identity of the Atma and Brahman has been established by Shrutyante. Shrutyanteshu upadishyate. It's been expounded in the Shrutyanteshu, means Vedanteshu. Shruti is Veda. So Anteshu in the Upanishads, it has been explained clearly how this is I am Atma Brahma. Says this Atma is essentially Brahman. So Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahman. Says Tattvamasi, you are in fact that. So these are the statements of the scripture called Mahavakyas. Mahavakya means the Jiva Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam. This is important for realization. It's not just the who am I inquiry. Don't say I don't need the scriptures. That's what the problem with most of or some of the Ramana Maharshi's disciples. They think that they don't need a scripture. All I have to do is inquire who am I. So if you inquire by narration, you become smaller and smaller and smaller. You have not become a Brahman. Brahman means you have to include everything. How do you include everything? And what basis you can include? Oh, I am conscious entity, therefore I am everything else. So on what basis? Unconscious entity is there. So how can it be conscious entity but that unconscious entity? How can you be unconscious entity there? So how would you reject the unconscious entity? Whole universe is unconscious only. As far as I am concerned, everything is only, I can see only our body, I cannot see your mind also. I can infer that you have mind by thinking process, by your thinking and the communicating process, that you have mind to think. And I had to infer it. All I can see is only the body. Therefore, for this, it is a Shastra Pramana. For that only, the scripture tells you, go and learn from your teacher. So it says, you can sit down and inquire, who am I? That's not sufficient. That's only the Tvam Padartha Vichara. Who am I is only, but you are that also. That we rejected. Neti is not that. But that also you have to include now. And that which includes what the whole thing, that is Ishavasya Midagam Sarvam. This is the entire universe. You have to include that also. How can I include in my as a chair and a table and a necklace and stars and galaxies? I am also that. How can that be possible? It's impossible and ridiculous and all that. That's the reason why scripture becomes a pramana. Why? It's also Vedanta is a science. And in what way that you can include himself? You are trying to include this ridiculous only. You are including with the body, mind, intellect. I am that. The body, mind, intellect cannot be that. You cannot say, I am the body, mind, intellect, and I cannot be that, because of course you cannot be that. We are talking about pure existent consciousness, that is, Ittam Satchit Paranandaha Atma is Brahman, not the body, mind, and intellect. So which one we are equating? The Tvam Padartham, in the Tvam has to be understood as I am the Satchidananda, and the Satchidananda is what? I am pure existent consciousness and Ananda. So how can I be Brahman? Because existence is, scripture says, existence is infinite. If I say I am existent, not existent as body, mind, and intellect, I am pure existence without any qualifications. Without any qualifications is the pure existence itself, and existence is infinite. We cannot have finite existence. If there is a finite existence, we said what is on the other side? If there is something, that's also existence. So